Hey YouTube, this is my second video. I decided, since I'd looked this guitar out, to go with, I did a wee video of my PB 1500 bass earlier on. I looked this out just because this is the matching guitar. Well, not quite the matching guitar, this is only a 600, which is the sort of the baby of the original Aria prototype range. I'm not going to play very loud, since it's like 11:15 at night. I might actually put this. I noticed when I was uploading a video the other day that I've got an option to delay when the video comes out. I might leave this till tomorrow night, like record it just now and just put it out tomorrow night, so it doesn't appear in the middle of the night. It's screwed in. Yeah. So this is, I believe, about 1978. So it's the same age as me. PE guitar. These have a bit of interest to them. This is, I think, Aria's first ever attempt at an original design electric guitar, or in the 80s anyway. I think maybe they did original designs in the 60s. You get the sort of crazy kind of look like Tesco type or Tiesco type guitars, the sort of mad 60s looking things. With there may be Arias like that, and then in the 70s they just pretty much did Les Pauls and Strats and copies, whereas by this point they decided they were going to try and design their own thing. A guy called Taka something, but his Japanese people take like an English name as well. So this one, H Noble. If you just watch the video of the other one, this is also not an Aria Pro. It's the Aria Pro 2. This one is significantly beat up. I did a lot of polishing to make this shiny again. It doesn't actually look that bad in the video, but I mean it really is absolutely battered to bits, and I still haven't changed that back cover, which is a piece of laminate flooring, I think. It should really be wood, I think, as opposed to plastic wood. So these guitars, Japan's attempt at making guitars that are like, you see the sort of flagship one, the PB 1500 masterpiece, is meant to be a Les Paul killer in all respects. It's not really, and this is just a sort of simplified version, it's not really that Les Paul-y. I mean, it's kind of shape-wise, but it's Strat scale, and it's quite thin, and it's quite light. It's kind of more a Strat, I think. Well, not more of a Strat, but it's not quite as Les Paul as you would think. It's actually maybe quite PRS-y. So if you look these up, these are in as the prototype series, which I don't think, it doesn't necessarily mean that, it's like, oh, super rare, it's a prototype, but it's like they decided, I think in one of the sales blurbs, or one of the magazine articles I've read, they were saying that this is the way they were going to make guitars from then on, and see, to be totally fair, they still make it. My pal Wayne is now an approved Aria dealer. He did it because he runs a wee shop down in Colville. So, hey Wayne, if you're in Colville, go to Karma Guitars. He's got he sells some good stuff, a lot of good stuff. Basically, kind of not doing that unlike what I'm doing, sort of good quality stuff, but maybe not necessarily so much Fenders and Gibsons, more obscure things where the quality is where it's at. But he joined the actual Aria dealership network, so he could buy like end of run guitars. You can just get where you get like last year's colour, however, for a bit cheaper, or ones that maybe get some cosmetic damage, and you can put them on cheaper. But Aria still they don't actually make this exact one. This is a PE, but maybe a year or two after this, they moved on to a guitar called a PER80, I think it was called. Which, in all intents and purposes, is very, very, very similar, apart from it had a sort of tunematic bridge instead of this thing. It might even have like 2 volumes and 2 tones, and it's got switches for coil splitting, which this one doesn't have. This one doesn't have any coil splitting. You just get volume, tone, and a 3-bay switch. This, and they still make it, and it's in Japan, and it's like £3,500, just to show you what sort of level these are at. And to be honest, that's kind of what you're looking at if you're kind of comparing it to a guitar you buy now. Yep, if this was new, it'd be £3,500, and they're not worth anything like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have one. So it's got like a really flat, square neck, actually very similar to that area in the corner there. That's an Urchin, which I need to do a video for as well. I don't think I've done one of them for ages. It's got So this here, see the headstock. This is quite a common aria headstock, but this has got like they call it a bat wing or Batman bit on the top. It's a little bit more evil looking, kind of like devil's horns type thing, which most arias don't have. It's got a bullet truss rod which sticks out. It kind of looks wrong, but it's such a better design because it means you can actually get at it. You know, they've actually tried to make the best guitar they possibly could in making this. And the writing on the headstock, which you can barely read on this one because it's so old, is says the same thing as what's on the bass, which is designed and approved by H. Noble, original custom body number 555719, a product of Matsumoku. Right, so I looked up the patent number 555719, and what the patent number is for that neck join. So it's a set neck, but the neck comes away in here somewhere, and then it's sort of slotted in, you know, for super high access, which I found amusing because if you look at that neck, you know, this patented neck join thing, and you go, oh look, let's have the bass has got it as well. It's got a through neck, so it doesn't have the patented neck join on it at all, even though it says so on the headstock. So they maybe didn't think about these things quite as much as they could have. It is a great for high access. I have seen similar things like this, but they've got like 2 neck bolts in there. In fact, am I right in thinking this might actually be a... No, it's not. It's not a bolt neck. But you get ones that have got like a plate with 2 bolts on. I think there's a sort of bolt-on version of this neck kicking about somewhere as well. You can see how sculpted it is. There's got a carved top as well. This has also got the H. Noble bridge, which is a sort of a different thing. I've not really seen one before or anything like it, but I think it might just be this guitar. I think I need to reset the poles, because I don't think that should be sitting up like that. I think that should be sitting more in line with the body, so it's kind of angled up the way. It seems to work alright, but I really want it to be flat, and it's not, so I think I might have to dowel the holes and then re-drill them to try and get them set in. This guitar is made of sycamore, which is, I don't think you get that many sycamore guitars. One of the things that got it for me. I basically bought this because I had the bass and I loved the bass, and I would have held out possibly to get the 1500 to go with the PB 1500, but the PB 1500, even though I think it is neck through, doesn't look the same as that. You know, this one's got you can see it's neck through looking at the front. You can see the neck runs all the way through it, whereas I think the 1500 guitar has like a maple top on it, so you can't see that it's through neck. And what's the point of having it through neck if you can't see that it's through neck? I feel a wee bit that way with the Washburn Eagle, which is the most expensive of the Wing series. It's white. And if you look at the Falcon, which is the one below it, it's like that. You know, you can see the neck going all the way through, and if you look in the back, it's like, whoa! Whereas the Eagle's just all white, and you go, what's the point of it being neck through if you can't see it from miles away? The folk at the back of the gig don't know it's neck through. Yeah, I think I've maybe talked enough shit about this. Nice guitar. Never really used it to anything like its potential. It's got a stiff volume control, which is exactly the same thing as what's happened to the Urchin in the corner there. It's from 1982, so it's a couple of years newer, but I think that maybe that's the thing with the old Japanese pots. It's just a bit stiff. Not unusably stiff. Does me through my wee laney, and I've got the volume down really quite low, seeing as it's like 20 past 11 at night with the rat pedal on. And these strings on it are probably, what, 3 years old? Something like that. I'd imagine they're elixirs though, because they're not all rusty. That's the neck pickup on them. And I believe this neck profile is called a D profile, so it's kind of, instead of being C-shaped, it's D-shaped, so it kind of feels almost square. It's also got a neck volute in the back there, stop the head snapping off, and it's a 3-piece neck. You know, 3-piece, 3 bits running that way. So I mean, it's design-wise and build-wise, this thing is absolutely shit hot. You don't get guitars like this anymore. I quite like the more simple I don't like the idea of paying for, you know, binding and all that stuff when that doesn't really make the guitar sound any better. Whereas this has just got all the basic shit, just perfect. I've considered putting coil splits in it, but I never bothered. I figured it was quite nice keeping it original since it's quite old. Also, maybe one of the oldest guitars I've got. These frets are pure grotty because I don't think I've ever been up this high on it. It's not bad for high fret accessing you can get. If it's fretting it a wee bit, I think just because these frets are so grotty and also the strings are ancient. But it plays like an absolute dream everywhere else. Let's pick up. It's not sounding as good, but I don't have the amp up as loud. Louder amps sound better. I don't want to crank it just now, since it's the middle of the night. And the fact that I can hear cars going up and down the road outside really clearly, I would imagine everyone in the street just now is going, fucking that guy played his guitar again. So I'll just keep the distortion up. The volume relatively low. I think I've actually got the action set a bit too low in this guitar. And this is before the time that I realised you could polish frets with wire wool, so a little bit crunchy. I need to take this in and try it out with Cranking House, which is the band I'm in playing guitar. I kind of decided that that's going to be my Cranking House guitar, the West Tone Raider, because it's really silly. It's a real show-offs guitar. Something like this isn't really that show-offy. It's just a guitar. It's kind of like pure, meh. You know, it's not totally mental. Even though it's probably a better guitar. But how can it be better than one that's silver sparkle flake two-tone with one pickup and shaped like a lightning bolt? So obviously it's not better, but you know what I mean. No idea what these pickups are. The original ones. Was it Aria that gave them good names? Is it Vibraflux or something they called them? Quite a lot of the time they put, maybe not quite as early as this. I'd imagine they'll be Goto. In fact, the lot will be Goto. It's got Aria Pro 2 tuners. The mad ones, I don't know if you've ever seen these sort of tuners before. That bass has them as well. It's like, see, to tighten the tension on them, it doesn't have a screw that goes in the end like that. It's actually the barrel here that tightens up. Something to point it with. This pen, perhaps. Yeah, so the barrel, that bit there, spins round to tighten them up. It's not the best design. You're better off just having the screw in the top, but they're good quality tuners. I mean, this would have been a pro level guitar. Again, slight slight neck dive, but it's really light. It's lovely. I've just got the. I just need to raise the action a little bit. It's just that wee bit low. It's kind of just not working. Just fretting out a little bit, kind of all the way up those strings. So I think maybe just raising up that bridge post a little bit would just bring it up to life. Yes, I'm not going to run this one to the full 20 minutes, I'll just leave it at that. So another one of my total, I don't want to say pure amazing guitars, but early 80s or this is late 70s, so sort of generally the late 70s are a wee bit more expensive for me if you look at like late 70s Ibanez's, you know, your artist series and stuff. So early 80s, made in Japan, in this case Matsumoku, guitars like this are amazing. I can't get enough of them, and you can pick these up for the same price as an Epiphone, and there is absolutely nothing there's nothing to compare the two, apart from the fact the Epiphone is worth more money because Slash plays one and people like the brand name. Something like this, you see them sneaking through, and all through the 90s and stuff. I think the PE model in general, not this exact model, was pretty much has been in production since 78, so there are versions of this kicking about, and you can, you know, generally buy them in the 90s, or just sort of your Korean or Chinese guitars. I don't know what they're like, I assume they're pretty good, but this is pro level. As I said, you know, it's like to get the modern Japanese version, which he still makes $3,000, or I can't, that's something like that. And I reckon it's in some one day these will be worth money. Maybe not so much this one being the 600, but the 1500, I think you start seeing them if you look it up on eBay. You're bound to see somebody try to sell one for over $1,000, for basically the same guitar with a maple top. And I believe the 1500 came with DiMarzios. In fact, I believe that the only difference between the 1500 and the 1000 is the 1500 came with DiMarzio pickups and the 1000 had these. And then coming down from that, I think the 800 doesn't have as much binding on it. I think it does have binding in the body, and you come down to the 600, which doesn't have binding on the neck, doesn't have the brass nut. I probably didn't come with the original wooden back covers like I showed you in the bass earlier on. That was probably originally plastic, and someone's made that. At least I think that's what's happened. Yeah, somebody's made that. It may actually be wood. I wonder if maybe actually staining that brown would help. I really need to get a better light bulb. It's just the cheapest one I could find. That's the most horrible fucking light fitting I've ever seen as well. I should get some sort of white light, because in here, I mean, this t-shirt is Bart Simpson red, and it's kind of got that sort of faded Hackett, and the walls in here are pink, pure minging. Anyway, so there you go. I've almost hit my 20 minutes. These aren't the original knobs either. The original knobs are really cool looking. They kind of look like, I have no idea how you would describe them. But if anyone ever makes them or has a set, even 4 of them, I'll have 2 for this and 2 for the bass. So, one last family shot. Yeah. Rock and roll.